Okay, today we are going to be solving inequalities. That is A.5B. There is only one rule for linear inequalities that you must do, that you must learn, okay? I want you to voltear, the inequality symbol when you multiply. That's too big, hold on. When you multiply or divide by a negative number. Okay? And what I mean by flip, if it looks like this, right, and I multiply or divide by a negative number, then we're going to flip it the other way. Se voltea. Okay, so I'm going to show you some examples of when you do that and when you don't do that. But it has to be a negative number, and you have to be multiplying or dividing by that negative number. Okay, so I'm going to do a few problems. I'm going to have you do one by yourself. This is the same thing like what we've been doing. Okay, the same thing. You still have to distribute when needed. You still have to move things. So the variables needs to stay on one side, and the constants need to be on another side by themselves. So if I'm moving this one over, what happens? Changes to a -2, right? Then you combine like terms. You guys did not do really good on the last test because of combining like terms. The things that look alike need to be combined. So these two, you need to subtract them. Okay, this one just comes down. So that's 3x. I have not multiplied or divided by a negative number, so the symbol stays the same. What's -4 minus 2? Check in Desmos. -4 minus 2. -6. Thank you. -6. So I combined like terms. The last step is to multiply or divide. Okay? There's a 3 in front of the x, so I'm going to divide both sides by 3. Am I multiplying or dividing by a negative number? Is this a negative number? No. This one is, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, did I multiply or divide by a negative number? No, this is not a negative number, so this symbol does not flip. It stays the same. So it's x less than -2. Okay? X less than -2. In a little bit, I'm going to show you how to do or how to check it in Desmos. But for right now, we're just going to continue with problem number 2. Okay, so what's the first thing I need to do here? The +2 needs to move to the other side and change the sign. So it becomes -2. Okay, I'm trying to separate my numbers and my letters. So now I have, this one comes down, x divided by 6. I haven't multiplied or divided by a negative number, so this symbol just comes down. What is -1 minus 2 in Desmos? -3. Okay, good. Now, this x is dividing by 6. How do I get rid of the 6? What's the opposite of division? Multiply. Lo opuesto de dividir es multiply. So multiply both sides by a +6. Okay, I'm multiplying or dividing by a positive number, so the symbol does not change. It stays the same. X greater than -3 times 6, -18. Okay, so I'm going to go check in Desmos. I'm going to show you how you're going to do it in Desmos if you are not comfortable solving by hand. I really want you to try it, but if you can't, then, just do it by Desmos. So I'm going to put this whole equation, what I started with is going to go in Desmos, and then my answer is also going to go in Desmos. So like this. me see. Let me move this over. Okay, so x divided by 6 plus 2 greater than negative 1. That's what I wrote there. Okay, this is what it looks like. That means my answer, x greater than negative 18, should look like this one. It's at negative 18, okay, and it's shaded on the greater than side. So yes, that's the answer. If you still don't see it, we need to type it. So the answer goes in here. Let's say that was a multiple choice answer. You would type it in here. Hello, pay attention. So we're going to have x greater than negative 18. Does that look the same? Yes. Okay, you can flip back and forth on these two. They have to be exactly the same, and they are. So that is your answer. Okay? So that's how you would do it in Desmos if you don't know how to do it by hand. You would type the answer choices and see which one looks the same. All right, so let's go do problem number 3. There's parentheses, so you have to distribute. So I'm going to distribute negative 2 here and here. The 7x just comes down. So 7x multiply negative 2 times x. What is that? Negative 2x. And negative 2 times negative 4 is a positive 8. Bring down the sign. Bring down the negative 2. Okay, the next step is to separate the numbers and the letters. So I have 2 variables here. Keep them there. And then this one needs to come over here with this other constant. So it becomes a minus 8. And you got rid of it. Okay? Then we combine like terms. Los que se parecen se combinan. So 7x minus 2x is how much? 7 minus 2? 5x. Okay, these two, that's what I did. Less than or equal to, what's negative 2 minus 8? Negative 10. Okay, the last step is to divide. So divide both sides by 5. That is a positive number, so the sign stays the same. X less than or equal to negative 10 divided by 5 is negative 2. Okay? Let's check it in Desmos, make sure that that is the answer. So pause the video, put the question in Desmos, the whole thing, and then the answer in Desmos, and let's make sure that they're the same. So here is my question, right? That's the same thing. And then we're going to type the answer, which was x less than or equal to negative 2. So here's my green. My answer is green. My question is black. Are they the same? Yes, so that is your answer. Okay? Let's do, you guys are going to do problem number 4 by yourself. I'm going to do number 5 and 6. But I'm going to go a little bit faster. So, distribute first. Negative 3 times x. Negative 3x. Negative 3 times 2. Negative 6. Bring this down. So that's going to be minus 3x. I haven't done anything, so I don't flip the sign. 2x plus 18. Okay? Then what do? Separate, right? The letters, separate them from the numbers. So I want my letters on the left side because I have 2 of them already. So this other one's going to come over here with it. So it becomes minus 2x. Cancel. Then the number is over here by itself, so I'm going to move this number over here and make it a plus 6. Cancel. Okay, so let me rewrite it just so that you guys can see what's happening. I have negative 3x minus 3x minus 2x. Bring the sign down, less than, and then I have 18 plus 6. So now we combine like terms, okay? So in Desmos, you guys can do this. -3 minus 3 minus 2. What does it give you? -3 minus 3 is a -6, minus 2 is a -8. So -8x less than, what's 18 plus 6? 24. Okay, here's where you're going to love it. Okay, I'm going to divide both sides by a -8. What did I say happens when you divide by a negative number? The sign is going to flip. I'm dividing by a negative number, so my sign is going to flip. And you better be paying attention because in quizzes, there's going to be a question where it says, do I flip the sign, yes or no? So this is going to be x, flip the sign. 24 divided by -8 is -3. Okay, so pause the video. Let's type this in Desmos and see that it is the correct answer. So I paused the video. I typed the problem. This is it. And then my answer should be x greater than, because we flipped the sign, -3. Okay, so there's my purple line. There's my black. Purple, black, same. So that means that's the answer. They're equivalent. So I checked it. And the last one, problem number 6. Okay, they get harder and harder, but if you can do this by yourself, you're doing great. So I'm going to distribute the negative here and here, and I'm going to distribute -4 here and here. -1 times 3x. The sign changes, so it becomes -3x. -1 times 3, -3. The sign changes. This comes down. -2x. The sign comes down, greater than. Then I distribute. -4 times x is -4x. -4 times -2 is a +8. And then you bring down the -2. Okay, what did I say is next? What do we do? Separate, right? Separate the x's. So this x needs to go over here with the other x's. Plus 4x. We have to change the sign. Cancel. And then this -3 has to go over here with the numbers. Change the sign to +3, and it cancels. So I'm just going to rewrite it so it looks pretty. That's -3x minus 2x plus 4x. Bring down the sign, greater than. And then I have 8 minus 2 plus 3. So combine like terms, things that look alike. So what's -3 minus 2 plus 4? How much? -1? -1x. Bring down the greater than. And then what's 8 minus 2 plus 3? +9. The last step is to divide. I'm dividing by a -1. Do I flip the sign, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, you have to flip it because I'm dividing by a negative number. That gives me -9. Good job. So that's x less than -9. Type the question and the answer in Desmos. Let's check that it's correct, and then we're going to go do our quizzes. Okay, so this was my question. My answer was x less than -9. Let me change the color. You can change the color by going to settings, color, change it to red or whatever color you want. Done. So if I go back and forth, they are the same. That means that is my answer. Okay? So you're going to go on quizzes, use the code that I'm going to provide for you. Remember that the code that is in, where's my thing? The code that's in Schoology, this one is for homework. It's not in class. You do this one for homework or to make up your grade. The code in class, I'm about to post it right now for everybody who is done.